Welcome to Dangertainment. I'm Colin.
And I'm Phil. This is off to a wonderful start already, as all of these are. So this is the con report, whatever you want to call it, for Spooky Empire
Retro 2019? Is it right? Proper saying of?
I don't know. I always saw that online they kept doing this last week as like Scream Break, and I hope that's the branding going forward because that is so much cooler than Retro.
It needs to be. Come on. Spooky Empire Scream Break 2020.
Maybe they bring back Mayhem just because I like saying Mayhem and I keep calling it Mayhem. So anyway, as pretty much normal for us, we ended up going just a one day for the Saturday, and it wasn't really a whole lot of guests we were planning to hit, so we got there right at 11 as the con was opening to the general public and went straight to the autograph room.
Which helped me get straight into Christopher Lloyd's line. I got second in line. And as I was doing that, you were going to D.
I was actually looking around because at first I didn't realize there was anybody even at their tables, and then I realized she was sitting back there after a couple other people went back there. So I got this photo signed off her table. I'm glad she had one like this. It was kind of a compilation of a bunch of different movies she was in because I really didn't know what I wanted to get signed. I was leaning towards The Howling, but I really wasn't too sure what I wanted her to sign at all. There's so many things that I think were iconic with her in it, and yeah, that's just a good compilation of everything.
I met up with him later, but when I went and hit D. Wallace, I went for my getting Alex Pardee book signed like I've been. I showed her the Cujo page, and she wasn't sure actually which page to sign because there's critters on one, Cujo on the other. So I got Cujo finally signed, another autograph to add to the book. Also what I had signed, and you'll see it in a large photo as well, is I worked at a convention here in Jacksonville called Cult Fiction, and she was one of the guests, and she was one of two autographs that I missed. Sadly, Jim Kelly must have left early, and I missed him. Sadly, he passed away. Can't get him anymore. But I finally was able to get D. Wallace autograph on that poster, and now it is done. It's so much an accomplishment to have that finally finished.
And how long was that?
It was in 11, so it's got to be like, what, 8 years?
Yeah, wow.
Holy shit. 8 years since I've been able to get back to seeing D.
And then, just because he was right next to D's booth pretty much, I got Eugene Clark's autograph, who plays Big Daddy in Land of the Dead. I'm one of those rare people that actually really enjoyed Land of the Dead, especially because I had a really entertaining experience watching it in theaters, where there's that scene where the zombie rips out the girl's belly button ring, and the girl I was sitting next to had one, and she was just losing her shit. It's kind of hilarious. Mm-hmm. So I got him to sign that.
He's really into his fans. He always walks around. He doesn't stay at his booth. He does, but then he walks around if he doesn't get a lot of comers. While he was walking around, filming for the footage, getting his two autographs, I went and got Christopher Lloyd's autograph to add to the book, and his is, what was it, Professor Doom, or was it Dr. Doom? Judge Doom. And it felt weird meeting Doc Brown and getting an autograph photo of Roger Rabbit. But what made it really awkward is I'm handing the person the book, and it felt weird that I'm getting Judge Doom signed, but on the opposite page is a set of huge ass knockers. That didn't make me feel any awkward at all.
So after that, basically I was off to the vendor room, and I thought I bought a lot of stuff like my first go through, but I really ended up not buying all that much the first time I went through. I got the Spooky Empire shirt for this year, which is a mashup of Iron Maiden's Peace of Mind album with a Friday the 13th hockey mask. So, I mean, I felt like it was a nice mashup of things I enjoy all on one t-shirt. And from their booth, I also got the Spooky Empire patch. It's basically like a Starbucks logo, but with PD in the middle of it. And, you know, I didn't put on my my battle jacket before I started filming all this, but I'm working on like a horror battle vest, and I figured I might as well add that on there as well. And then the other thing I picked up on my first go-through was my one Trick or Treat Studios purchase for the event, and not the one that I was anticipating looking for, but there was a vendor that had the Nameless Ghoul ghost masks from Trick or Treat Studios. So I picked up one of them. I almost picked up a second one just so I could paint it white to have the Opus Eponymous version, but I'll stick with this.
That's Trick or Treat?
Yeah.
it looks so flimsy I couldn't tell.
It's one of their like vacuum gas. It's not much different than the Myers masks that I have that are like that.
I've never seen those outside of a bag.
So that was kind of my first foray into the vendor room. After that, I ended up going and getting my Savini Jason costume on and kind of walking around. Ended up in Adam DeLue's video, which is, yeah, cool.
Woo!
But hey, you know what? Usually I've worn that thing to a few cons now, and I never been able to find photos of myself from the event, or if I'm in a video, it's in like the very background. So I've been in a video that's, you know, a kind of major reviewer of that online, and then I found a random photo on Instagram under the Spooky Empire 2019 tag, so nice. I'm pretty happy after that. I don't know. I ended up taking quite a few photos in it too.
Besides making that one little girl mad because you didn't high-five her.
I couldn't hear or see her. The good part about that is after putting on the costume, kind of walking around a little, we went into the autograph room, and Colin went to go talk to Kane Hodder, and I'm just standing there behind him in this costume, and Kane looks at me, it's like, how do you see in that? And I'm like, not very well. And he's like, I understand. So that was a nice moment.
Yep. I figured he would enjoy a little bit of cosplay.
So after I got out of that costume, because it was 8,000 degrees, plus I have a li-poly battery that sits in like my chest pocket that powers the mask, and I kept just feeling sweat going nearer and nearer to that battery, and I'm just like, I'm gonna end up electrocuting myself. This is dumb. I don't want to do that.
Why is CBJ smoking?
This is not an effect, people. So second go through, I ended up picking up a few pins. I ended up at a deal for buying 3 at London 1888, which is a company I've bought quite a few patches and pins from over the last not that long, if I'm really honest about it. A lot of things were like Christmas and Black Friday sales. This is the first con I've picked up a lot really from them. So I ended up getting Chief Woodenhead from Creepshow 2, Pamela Voorhees from Friday the 13th Part 2.
That's the regular one, right?
Yeah, it's, I don't know if it's really black and white. It's kind of has like a fleshy tone for her face, but the other one was a video game version of the same pin.
Yeah.
And then I got the Phantasm Hemi Cuda with the silhouette of the Sentinel behind it. Pretty happy about those 3. And then at another booth, I ended up picking up the Goosebumps logo pin. I was kind of hoping they'd have like the more classic Haunted mask on there, but they just had the more modern version, which I'm not a big fan of, so I'll make do with this.
Yeah.
One of my favorite vendors at Spooky Empire every time they show up, Image Motor Productions. I've shown these off before. I've picked up a couple of their other gingerbread men from Krampus, and this is one they came out with, I think, at least maybe a year and a half ago, if not longer, but I've just been putting off buying it. It's similar to the first one I have, where it has the candy cane spike, but obviously this guy's on fire, he's jumping, he's got the like marshmallow frosting saliva in his mouth.
Foaming in the mouth.
Yeah, he's cool. They had 2 new ones on display, and they are even more epic than the ones I've picked up so far. One is the Chimney Lure, so it's actually a hangable hook that has like little jingle bells on it, and then the gingerbread man, he has the bite taken out of his head. Really, really cool piece. And then they're working on another one where it's 3 of them operating a nail gun. They have the prototype on display, and yeah, I am definitely going to pick those up because those are awesome.
They did say they had a few people that were willing to buy the prototype.
I'm sure that thing was great, but you know, I'd almost rather wait for them to get it completely figured out.
They said they were working on the base.
That's going to be cool. That's going to be neat. So, by the time Christmas rolls around next year, I'm going to just have a forest of evil gingerbread men.
The D-top will just be gingerbread?
I don't know. I'm just going to, I don't know. I'll put them somewhere fitting.
Usually all around the house. What the hell?
I used to do that with my gremlins. My little NECA gremlins. I used to hang it up all over the place. I think they're still, I don't know.
I think in your room you still have the one gremlin hanging from the vent.
I might. But yeah, so that was actually the extent of my purchases for the con. Relatively small compared to my normal obsessive nature. But I should also say, we were at Days of the Dead Atlanta in the end of January. Right now, it's the end of March. I definitely didn't need to splurge too much on the vendor room.
Well, that's what helped, is that a lot of the vendors were from Atlanta that we thought of.
Yeah.
And booths that normally take all of our money weren't there, like Grindhouse and
Grindhouse.
Trick or Treat Studios.
Yeah, I haven't seen that vendor in a while. The guy that used to always have like a ton of Trick or Treat Studio stuff. He hasn't been, I think, at like at least the last 3 cons. So that's kind of disappointing. I was hoping to get my Part 3 Leatherface mask, but I guess I just have to order it.
Oh no!
Like a pleb.
Woe is me.
So what did you pick up in the vendor room?
I guess since you started off with the spooky booth, I'll mention my spooky booth. I picked up, I'll do the full screen because I've already started adding the pins I got to my hat.
You're gonna break your neck, damn it.
That'd be hilarious if I did it at a show.
Yeah, it would.
Because Kane almost did it this week.
Well, there you go.
I got the Spooky Empire logo pin. I had to pick it up. It's, I'm religious to this convention, so why not?
Do you declare that as an official religion?
Why not? Yes.
Okay.
I also picked up, I hope to God it fits me, but I picked up the last red and black baseball tee of the spooky shirt, and what it says on the back, I don't think he showed it, but it was, I was there, Spooky Empire 19. So I think that was kind of neat. It was the last one. I wanted the red and black one. I missed out on large, so this is a medium, so hope it fits.
They definitely, I know I'm biased because of the 2 things that they're matching up on this merch this year. I've looked at their shirts every year, and I've never really been, super pushed to buy them, but this year I knew, way in advance it was an instant buy. This was definitely hitting my sweet spot.
After that, I kind of roamed around. I saw a few things I wanted to get. First thing I wanted to get was, there's a guy, 13X Studios custom hockey masks. He's always, if he's at a convention, you see his hockey masks of everything. He's got, a Chucky mask, a Momo mask,
I'm gonna get demonetized for that, thank you.
a Audrey 2 mask. He's got masks of hockey masks only in different characters. He did as a tribute the Part 2 one of Steve Dash for Atlanta, and I sadly missed out on it, but he had a few at his booth, so I had to pick up one of them because I told him if I see him, I'd buy it. So it's kind of nice. Maybe I'll join him in the cosplay. I'll do a hockey mask Part 2 version. We'll see.
To dye your hair red and have a really weird mullet.
No. Next thing I went to, actually I'll say before I do my big haul, I stopped at the same booth. He got his Goosebumps. I picked up the last glitter Goosebumps pin. I picked up a lot of the last pins of a few of these. It felt a little accomplishment doing that.
So blame him when you didn't get it.
It's online. And then I also went to the London 1888 booth. While he was in Sabine Jason, I figured I'd stop and buy my stuff while he was tied up. So I picked up the unmasked Michael Myers, Nick Castle black and white pin. The Death Proof Kurt Russell pin. I'm a big fan of Kurt Russell. I did give them the idea, hopefully they do it, of a Hateful Eight Kurt Russell John Ruth pin. So hopefully they get that. That would be awesome. I was originally going to be going to New York this year, so I meant to pick it up earlier in the year, but New York didn't happen, so since it was a Friday the 13th Part 8 themed day for me, I had to pick up the Jason Takes Manhattan pin. I like it. I love it how it's purple, has Jason, has the Twin Towers in the background, so it's a nice pin. I also picked up their Chucky shirt. I at first thought it was a Chucky knife shirt, but sadly I think it's just he just cut off his hand, so it's before pre-knife. So I thought it was one thing, but oh well, it's still a Chucky shirt. It's still gonna be worn by me on countless occasions. The next booth that I went to, you'll have to see a few photos, but I'm wearing one of the shirts. Is a newcomer, a booth called Vanity Apparel. She was a newcomer. She's never done menswear. She's just thought, roll the dice. Why not try it out? She did really well from what I talked to her at her booth. I bought a Frankenstein-inspired t-shirt or button-up. I bought a Pennywise button-up, and I also bought one of the last Freddy button-ups. And she has a Etsy store, Etsy/shop/Vanity Apparel. I'm wearing the shirt right now. It's really comfortable. I like it. Definitely give her Etsy store a look at. I hope to see more horror button-ups in the future from her, but man, I spent most of my money at that booth. The last thing I picked up was I went to Paul Bearer Press, and he's bought a few things from them. I think I passed on a few things at Atlanta. I don't remember. They had a Chucky pin. I didn't see that in Atlanta, so I picked up their last Chucky pin. Can't wait to add my first Chucky pin to my hat. Yay. So that'll be neat. And the last thing I did was the Jason, or the King Hodder Part 8 Jason photo op. I wanted to do the Kincaid death, so I borrowed my friend's boxing gloves and did the boxing look to it. What was made it funny was he grabs my collar and just rears back. Made a funny photo, but I wish the camera would have kept clicking when he actually swung at me, and the force pushed me back, and I swear I heard my neck crack 3 times, and my neck still hurts. But damn it, it was worth it. It was fun. So I had to get back in line. I had him sign it. It was fun. Told him safe travels he traveled for John Carl Beekler's funeral today. Rest in peace. But that was the extent of mine. I mean, like he said, we did Atlanta. Not much we spent. I mean, I think we both walked out not buying any movies.
That's never happened before, I don't think.
We almost said that we both walked out with no Trick or Treat Studios.
I forgot.
But I think next Spooky's supposed to be in Tampa?
Yeah, so it looks like we're actually getting a new city and a new range of dates. This is the first time I've seen a Spooky Empire run for that many days.
I think it's only going to be for this year, though.
Well, it makes sense because it's Halloween. So, yeah. Of course, who the hell would not want to spend Halloween at Spooky Empire? I don't care who the guests are. That's just going to be cool.
Yeah.
I'm definitely excited about that. I am going to put my time off request for work on Monday. Yeah, that's going to be really fun. I don't know where in Tampa it's going to be. I'm really not too familiar with their convention centers or anything anyway, so who knows, but we will see, I guess. I don't know, this con overall I thought was just really, really good. I had a ton of fun. The spring event's always a little smaller than the fall event. I felt like they came out swinging, came out trying to, just show how good Spooky Empire is, and did a really damn good job of it. Everything seemed organized.
Yeah, we only had one issue of non-organization, but I think it was just a cluster at that time. But it wasn't, it didn't affect
that was
us.
What, probably the,
yeah,
it was the Wednesday Addams,
it was
Christopher Lloyd photo op.
Yeah, it was probably that. But still, it was nice and small, organized. Wasn't a cluster like last fall, which was funny because a lot of the VIP and all these badges had everything was populated in the badges form, kind of like a big FU to all the Funko collectors who, I'm going to say, ruined the last convention.
I don't know if they ruined it, but they definitely didn't help things.
If there was backlash for the last convention, it was because of the Funko people, not because of a spooky person.
Yeah. Did you see the photo of PD found somebody wearing an Elvira Pop costume?
Yes! That was hysterical.
That was good shit.
But another fun year for both of us. We can't wait to both hit our numerous cons we have before the next Spooky. But just before we end the video, talk about your 2 other purchases that you've gotten recently.
Yeah, so on either end of the table here you can see some Jason masks. These came in just before the con, so I wanted to include them here. These are from Crystal Lake Industries. They're both Jason X masks. This one came in as a blank. It was just a black fiberglass mask. They actually pre-prime it for you. So it actually made painting it really quick and easy because I didn't have to wait for primer to dry. I didn't have to do any sanding or anything. And then I already had it came with the straps and the rivets, and all I needed was to add on the chevron from JDF Studios that I'd already bought. But this guy here came already finished. This is their Uber Jason. They offer a couple different finishes on it. One's more movie accurate, it's more of the dull metal look. But to me, the chrome feels right for Uber Jason. So this is once again a fiberglass mask here.
Isn't there an all black one?
You can pull it apart. I think that's like a kit or something.
Okay.
So it attaches with magnets if you actually wanted to wear it. That's terrifying to do. Yeah, I love that thing. It is really freaking cool. I guess it took a little while because it came from Canada and I ordered it early February, and apparently it was like negative ridiculous degrees up there, so I could totally understand. Did you put that on without even having to take it apart?
Yes, my head's that small. I'm not taking this off.
Oh God. So anyway, while we freeze him for 1,000 years until the Earth is destroyed.
Wrong mask.
I don't think it's going to take that long actually, so never mind. We'll send him to Earth 2 and he can drown in a lake. So I think there's nothing really for either of us con-wise for a while. I think everything's gonna kick back off, at least for
September.
me, in late August with Dragon Con up in Atlanta.
September for me, for Crypticon.
And it looks like there's also Ancient City Comic Con that's going to have Matt Frewer and the front of the truck from Maximum Overdrive. And sadly, I want to go for the front of the truck more than Matt Frewer. I was just going to show up for a photo op with a bottle of mouthwash and a bottle of vodka. I'm going to scare the hell out of him.
You'd have to trim your beard down to have the real...
I'll just dishevel everything. That's good enough.
You have to have the book trucks in your hand. Use the whole...
Maybe I don't have an AC/DC album. And Lisa Simpson. But anyway, so while we're rambling incoherently, that's it for this event, or this con, and we'll see you guys next time.
Yep, I saw.
One of them is like,
I don't know if I caught it on film because I was trying to turn it on.
sorry.